You're doing a disservice to Beyoncé to compare her to Taylor Swift. Because Taylor is in another galaxy.
Because I don't like Taylor now. I don't like how she acts fake surprised at award shows.
Only person you can compare Taylor Swift to is Michael Jackson.
Beyoncé, Taylor Swift, and Michael Jackson debates are keeping me up. I'm going to be the non-biased one, all about peace, love, and positivity. These are two amazing women, and we should be celebrating the both of them, but I want to see what all this hoopla is about. I went to the Eras Tour. I went to the Renaissance Tour.
I went to Taylor, by the way.
You saw Taylor?
It's the greatest live concert I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
The only person you can compare Taylor Swift to is Michael Jackson.
Really?
There's nobody else. You're doing a disrespect and a disservice to any other artist if you compare Taylor Swift to that. I'm being honest with you. I know there's a lot of guys. You know. Come on, son. You already.
That high five, that's them saying, oh, we're going to stir up the internet. Because that's something that these two are great at doing. So Andrew said he went to the Taylor concert. If you watch my video on the Eras Tour, literally one of the greatest life, come closer, one of the greatest life experiences ever. I talk to my friends all the time. They're like, I don't get it. I don't get it, Anthony. I said, you just have to be there. Shut up. Shut up. If you're not there, don't talk to me. Michael Jackson.
The only person you can compare Taylor Swift to is Michael Jackson.
That comment right there is very horrible. Michael Jackson, as an entertainer, is known for his performances in terms of his dancing and his singing. And that, I'm sorry, Michael Jackson is in a class of his own. And the only artist that comes close is Beyoncé. Now, Taylor Swift is special in her own way because of songwriting. Outside of hip hop, Taylor Swift is the greatest songwriter. And Beyoncé right now is the greatest performer. So you have to be careful. Like, what exactly are we talking about here? Because Taylor Swift and Michael Jackson is two completely different things. Now, in terms of popularity, Taylor Swift is the most popular artist right now. However, Michael Jackson, I don't think people realize this is what the streets would look like when Michael Jackson was in town.
Listen,
Taylor Swift.
I heard it's amazing, though.
Oh.
I heard it's like a stage play. I did hear that shit.
It is the most amazing live concert I've ever seen.
Really?
It's not even close. The only person you can
And you've
compare
seen
her
Beyonce.
to- Son, I've seen Beyonce.
No, you haven't.
I went to the Eras Tour. I went to the Renaissance Tour. I saw Beyonce with my sister. It was a special moment. Beyonce was like, yo, this is insane. The best way I can explain it, Taylor Swift was like this dope-ass campfire. And that's probably the most fun I've ever had at a concert. I'm not gonna lie. The Eras Tour, that was the most fun I've ever had at a show. But Beyoncé amazed me individually more than any artist I've seen live.
There's no question Beyonce is a much better dancer. There's no question that
Much better singer.
She's a much better singer. There's no question. Beyonce is a generational talent. You're doing a disservice to Beyonce to compare her to Taylor Swift. Because Taylor is in another galaxy. I was a Taylor hater. I'm going there because my wife wants to go, and I'm like, I've been making fun of this girl for a decade. I've been hating on her. I felt like such a phony.
He said it's a disservice. You're doing a disservice to Beyonce if you compare her to Taylor Swift. But I think it goes both ways because you're doing a disservice to both. If you compare Beyonce to Taylor, you're doing Taylor a disservice too because they're two completely different artists. It's not going to be fair for either or. It's not. Taylor Swift, at this point, she was a country music star, a pop star. The stuff that she writes about is probably going to be a little bit more popular based on the accessibility of the lyrics and how many people can relate to it. Whereas Beyonce, certain songs like Irreplaceable, To the Left, Everything You Own in the Box to the Left, That's something that could be played worldwide. Halo, same thing. But then you get the other side of it, where she's more so representing for the black women and black men. So that's not always going to translate as big as the pop records that don't have that subject matter. To go at Andrew's point again, I would argue that both Taylor and Beyonce are generational artists. I think you only get a Beyonce once a century, and I think you only get a Taylor once a century. Because again, I think both are so elite at what they do. I don't think we're going to get many songwriters at the level of Taylor. And the same could be said about Beyonce. The art of dancing and singing live is dying. It's dying. We are slowly not seeing that anymore. There's some artists like Tinashe, for example. Tinashe is very talented, but she hasn't garnered the popularity to be on that mainstream stage, which is unfortunate.
I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
That's a classic.
Salute to my boy Frosty, man. Frosty listened to the last episode of Brilliant Ears, and he texted me of a news report of how it said Beyonce's tour is going to gross $500 million. It's like the highest grossing R&B tour ever.
Say R&B though. Make that loud.
And I go,
make that loud.
And I text him back and I go, well, Taylor's estimated to gross like 1.4 billion. Like they're saying Beyonce's whole tour is going to be 500 million, but she's already like at 400 million now. Like shows done. Like I think it was within 22 shows.
This is Taylor's moment. Without a doubt, Taylor is the biggest artist in the world. Come closer. She is the biggest artist in the world. But Beyonce has been the biggest artist for the longest time. When Taylor Swift is starting out, when she was strumming on her guitar, I was riding shotgun with my hair undone. Beyonce was the biggest artist in the world. In the world. For years. For years. Beyonce got a whole kid. She got kids now.
I want to be right about this, right? But the reality is, when we're talking about just the numbers wise, Taylor's smoking shit.
And forget. She's
smoking
it's
shit.
Not even numbers. Like
Taylor's smoking everybody though. If we looking at numbers, let's just be real. Taylor really do smoke everybody, bro. You can't compete with Taylor Swift right now. You just can't.
I hate we have to compare them. It's unfair to Beyonce. You can't compare.
But check it out.
The only person you can compare Taylor to is Michael Jackson. And I'm telling you, and if I'm being honest, it's Michael Jackson is the only person you can compare her to. If you talk about hits, listen, I don't want to do this, but we could do it. I don't want to do this, we could do it. You can't tell me Beyonce has the same amount of hits, no features, as Taylor.
She does.
She got. No. Take away the features, you can't even name them.
Nah, she does.
Take away the features, you can't even name them.
Beyonce don't have a lot of features, though.
Take away the features, you can't name 10 Beyonce songs.
What the hell was that?
So this is exactly what I mean when I say Andrew be exaggerating sometimes, because you can 100% name 10 Beyonce songs without features that are hit records. And I won't even mention songs like Me, Myself, and I, Dangerously in Love. I'll talk about the songs that the general consensus in America should know. Halo, huge record. You have Single Ladies, huge. Who Run the World? Girls, huge. Love on Top, that was one of the biggest songs back then. You also have Break My Soul. You have Cuff It, which is a TikTok hit. You have Partition, you have Sorry, you have Formation. Did I mention Formation already? Huge record right there. If I Were a Boy, the list goes on and on. You can name a bunch of records, solo records, that are hits. And that's without the features and without the Destiny's Child records. I don't know what he's talking about. He says you should only be comparing Michael Jackson to Taylor Swift in terms of hits or something along those lines. I'm going to throw some history at y'all real quick. The artist with the most #1 songs, if you're talking about the charts, and Billboard can back me up, #1 is the Beatles. The Beatles had 20 #1s. #2, Mariah Carey. She has 19. And then #3 is an artist that's actually in our generation when you talk about Taylor and Beyonce, Rihanna. Rihanna has around 14, and she hasn't even put out music in the last 7 years. So Beyonce, Taylor Swift, and Michael Jackson. They're nowhere to be found in the top 3. And then when you talk about just charting overall, the number 1 artist in terms of charting is Drake. It's Drake. And this is by like a large margin. Drake is at, I think, 288 or something like that. He's close to 300. And number 2 on that list is Taylor Swift. She's a big deal. But Michael Jackson's not even up there. I just wanted to put that out. And that just shows you that having hits has nothing to do with artistry at all. So I don't even understand why that was brought up.
Eras, which is Taylor's tour, could top 1 billion in sales, making it the first concert in history to cross that mark. But some estimates suggest that Beyonce's world tour could gross even more than that by the time it wraps in October. I don't know what's true and what's not true.
I hope they both make all the money. I don't even care about it. I don't care about the money. What I'm saying is this poor girl, Taylor Swift, has received 1 million times more criticism than Beyonce. It's whoever hates Beyonce. Beyonce is unanimously loved, appreciated, and adored.
No, I agree with that because I don't like Taylor now, and I have no reason not to.
No reason to not like her. It is constant hate. And this girl,
you know what I don't like? I don't like how she acts fake surprised at award shows.
So here's the thing.
Like you know you was gonna win.
Here's the thing.
Oh, come on. Okay. So I want to say this, and actually I'm kind of done watching this video. Beyonce is one of the greatest performers, musicians of all time. And I think it's very important that we don't, especially for the younger kids out there, that we don't misconstrue things, and act like her time didn't exist. Because number one, her time is still now. She's still killing it at a high level. And she's been doing it since 1997. But I will say a lot of people disregard Taylor because of narratives. Like I said before, I think the greatest thing is every artist can have different genres of talent. Not different genres of music. They can have different genres of talent. So Beyonce can get on stage and she can sing her ass off, dance her ass off. And that's skills that we have to appreciate. That is talent. That is incredible. Now, I did see some people mocking Taylor Swift. They were putting up a video and they were trying to, I guess, compare her dance moves to Beyonce's dance moves and Michael Jackson's. And I think that's really, I don't see the purpose in that, because I think Taylor's number one skill and talent, and she said it, is her songwriting and her ability to relate to people, relate to her audience with her words, which is why the Eras tour, when everybody's singing in the crowd, it's a feeling that you can't quite get anywhere else. And I just say that to say everybody could be amazing and can be the Michael Jackson at something. And I just say Michael Jackson because Michael Jackson is regarded as like the greatest of all time when we talk about music, because he kind of relates to all crowds. But there's a lot of artists that can be in that same boat. And I believe Taylor Swift and Beyonce can coexist up there in their own ways without us having to compare them to Michael Jackson all the time. They could just be their own individual talents and own individual greats that we should appreciate, and we should give them flowers, because at some point there will be no Beyonce and we're gonna have to deal with mediocre artists on stage not dancing, not knowing how to dance, and not knowing how to sing. And there will be no Taylor Swift, where we're going to have to deal with artists who do not know how to write verses, do not know how to write bridges, and do not know how to write chorus. And guess what? We're already seeing it, because you're seeing a list of these artists that are coming from TikTok, and you're like, what? This is god awful. And they're getting more and more popular as the day goes on. And I just want to say, while we are bickering about Taylor and Beyonce, there's going to be one time that these two are not going to be making music anymore, and we're going to be left with these bullshit ass artist. So I just want to put that out there. Like, appreciate these two women. These are two legendary women. Y'all can debate in the comments. It's cool. Y'all know me. I love it all. But I just wanted to put my 2 cents in there, man. It's Anthony Aiken Jr. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. My Renaissance Tour video is coming out tomorrow. Social media, Anthony96JR. TikTok is right here. I'm going to be posting a lot of stuff here. Anthony Aiken Jr. clips. And as always with my channel, we end off with the hug. Bring it in.